Assalamu alaikum everyone. I hope you all are fine by the grace of Allah Almighty and taking care of yourself in these difficult days. Now let's get back to the studies. Chapter 3. We have started this chapter last week and we will continue with this chapter this week as well. Okay, my dear students. Now just let's have a recap of what we have learned last week. We covered topics of energy, formation of coal, fossil fuel, what is peat. These main topics we covered last week. So, can anyone tell me what is a peat? Peat is a new and different and difficult word, a new word to your knowledge. So, what is it? Yes, you are right. Peat is the formation of coal. It is the very first stage in formation of coal. Now let's start with the word energy. Quickly, just revise all this. Energy is the capacity to do some work. Energy can be changed from one form to another form, but neither it is created and nor it is destroyed. What happens that it changes from one form to another form. An energy resource is something that can produce heat, power, light, move objects, electricity, store energy in the form of fuel. These things comes in the energy resources. Renewable energy resources and non-renewable energy resources are the forms of energy. That some energy can be renewed and some of the energy it cannot be renewed. The capacity of doing something is called energy. One form of energy can be converted into other form. Let's take an example of that chemical energy that we eat food and that eating food the energy changes from kinetic energy, movement energy to the chemical energy. There are many sources of energy we have such as fossil fuels, wood energy, solar energy means energy which comes from the sun, wind energy, the energy that is coming from the wind, and water energy means tidal energy, that energy that comes from the pressure of waves. So these are the forms of energy. Fossil fuels are oil, natural gas, and coal are the forms of fossil fuel. Now the formation of coal is some steps are there in that way the coal is formed. The very first stage is called as peat, and then after peat it is like mud and gravel changed into the form, and then from that form uh, the coal is formed. It gradually sank and covered with water, and layers of mud and gravel were laid over the decaying plant. So uh, uh, the decayed plant and much more rocks were laid down above the sea level. So the pressure on the peat layer increased and the temperature also increased, and eventually over years of decaying plants coal is formed. What is acid rain? As you can see from the name that rain or acid is something is linked with it. So so you all are right. Yes, acid rain means that the rain which contains acid. Acid rain is a form of air pollution and it is consisting of water droplets that are acidic due to the pollution in our atmosphere, which we know is caused mainly through the large amount of sulfur and nitrogen released by cars and industrial processes. The cars which release smoke that contains sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. Now, what are the causes of acid rains? Causes of acid rains are burning coal, oil, and natural gas. Now, what are they? They are fossil fuels. So, one of the cause of acid rain is that burning more fossil fuels. These gases, when released in the atmosphere, react with water, oxygen, and other gases and chemicals present to form various acidic compounds, sulfur, sulfuric acid, and nitric acid. These are the names of two types of acids. Sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide is formed, and when they combine with oxygen and water, they make acids, sulfuric acid and nitric acid. These acids then disperse over large areas because of wind and fall back to the ground as acid or the other form of precipitation. How acid rain is formed? As you all know, that acid rain is a type of rain which contains acid. Now, how this acid is formed in the environment? Burning fossil fuels in power stations, factories, and motor vehicles also release sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen in the air. Now, this pollution, which is created by the factories and motor vehicles, they release sulfur dioxide and nitrogen in the air. When these oxides they combine with water vapors, we all know that we have water vapor moisture in the air. These can combine with water vapor in the clouds to produce acid rain or hail or sleet or snow, which damages trees and buildings, corrodes metalwork, and pollutes lakes and rivers, killing fish in the water and other water animals and the plants. When these acids they dissolve in the water, the sulfuric acid and the nitrogen acid or the nitric acid, the damage done by acid rain is extensive. Like it destroys our beautiful environment. Buildings are crumbled and metal constructions are rusting because of this acid rain. So this acid rain has a lot of harmful effects on our life. Solutions of acid rain or how acid rain can be reduced. Now, as acid rain is a rain, snow, or fog that is polluted by acid in the atmosphere and it damages our environment, two common air pollutants acidify rain, that is, sulfur dioxide and nitrogen dioxide. When these substances are released in the atmosphere, they can be carried over long distances by prevailing winds before entering to earth as acidic rain, snow, or even dust. When the environment cannot neutralize the acid being deposited, damage occurs. Now, as you know that acid rain, it damages our construction and it is harmful for human beings as well and for the forest and plants. So how we can reduce acid rain? We can reduce acid rain by using a less coal and sulfur less burning material, increase natural gas use and renewable energy resources. So improve our industries, their burning processes. So less pollution is released by the plant, by the power stations, and by the cars and uh, other resources through which the pollution in our environment is increasing. So government can even take precautionary measures to reduce the formation of acid rain. They need to spend more money on pollution control, and government can invest in researching different ways to produce energy resources, and in this way we can make our environment healthy and beautiful. Greenhouse effect and global warming. Dear students, you all have learned about greenhouse effect in your junior classes. But this global warming is a new word for you. And can you see from the names, both the names, greenhouse effect and global warming, it means that both are interlinked with each other. So we will learn about both of them in a way that you will be able to clarify the global warming, the new concept. Now, when fossil fuels are burned, now as you all know up till now that what are fossil fuels? They are oil, coal and natural gas. When fossil fuels are burned, they not only release their store of energy, they also set free a large quantity of carbon dioxide into the air. Now, this carbon dioxide rises in the atmosphere and forms an insulating layer. Insulating layer means forms a type of protective layer. This layer allows the heat energy from the sun, because we are getting energy from the sun, that heat energy from the sun into the Earth's atmosphere. But not all of it can get out again. It means that some of the energy is reflecting back in a way that layer of carbon dioxide is acting like the glass in a greenhouse. That it means that it is letting some of the sun's energy, some of the heat inside the atmosphere, and some is reflecting back. It helps to trap heat. That carbon dioxide helps to trap heat. For this reason, the effect is called as greenhouse effect, and it is leading to global warming. Now, what is global warming? We will learn about global warming in the next slide. Global warming. What is global warming? Global warming refers to an average increase in the Earth's temperature, which in turn causes change in the climate. As we all have heard of it, but what is climate change and what is it is doing to our planet? So first of all, we will learn about what is climate change. Climate or global warming is the process of our planet heating up, means rise in temperature. Scientists estimate that since the Industrial Revolution, human activity has caused the Earth to warm by approximately 1 degree. While that might not sound like much, that only 1 degree increase in temperature, it means big things for people and wildlife around the globe. Unfortunately, rising temperature don't just mean that we'll get nicer weather. No, the change in climate will actually make our weather more extreme and unpredictable. As temperature rise, some areas will get wetter and lots of animals and humans as well could find they are not able to adapt to their climate changing. A warmer earth may lead to changes in rainfall patterns or rise in sea level or a wide range of impacts on plants, wildlife, and humans. When scientists talk about the issue of climate change, means the weather changing, their concern is about global warming caused by human activities. Now, which human activities? The humans which are creating the pollution in the environment. So, is the earth getting warmer? Yes. The earth has warmed by about 1 Fahrenheit over the past 100 years. But why the earth has getting warmer day by day? The earth could be getting warmer on its own, but many of the world leading climate scientists, they think that the things people are doing and helping to the make earth warmer. So we need to reduce the pollution, so which is making our environment and our climate more warm. So we can conclude with this that global warming is the rise or increase in the earth's average temperature. Our Earth is surrounded by air, which acts like a layer of insulation, keeping heat in just like the gases in a greenhouse. Carbon dioxide is called as a greenhouse gas. So it has been very useful in making the Earth warm enough for the human life. However, the amount of carbon dioxide in the air is increasing. Carbon dioxide is increasing. Thus, in return, it is increasing the temperature of the earth. So rise in temperature is known as the global warming. Now, what are the solutions to stop this global warming? What are the solutions uh, to make our environment less warm? What we can do, we can save energy. How we can save energy? We can save energy by not wasting water, by switching off lights, fans, heaters, or air conditioned units when there is no one in the room. And we can even use energy as recycling. Yes, I remember, like, you people have learned about reduce, recycle, and reuse in grade 3s or 4s. So, what is recycling? Recycling means reusing the same thing in another way. So, recycling cans, bottles, and waste papers, and wherever possible, like plastic. And we did an activity last year that just say no to the plastic bags. We had an assembly on it. Do you people remember? Yes, we made posters, we made banners as well, and we made big models to show that how we can use stoppage of plastic. Even now in the markets and uh, in the malls, use of plastic bag is forbidden by the Pakistan government. So these are the solutions to make our environment less warm. Greenhouse effect. As we have learned already about the global warming, so it will be easier for us to learn about greenhouse effect, and how it is affecting our environment and how it is trapping the heat. The suns warm the earth, and certain gases such as carbon dioxide trap the heat in the atmosphere. This is called as the greenhouse effect because the gases in the atmosphere act rather like the glass in a greenhouse, trapping heat and keeping it within the Earth's atmosphere. Without the greenhouse effect, the climate of our Earth would be on average like about 35 centigrade colder than it is now. Life would only be possible in the tropics, and most of the world's water would be frozen solid. But for thousands of years, the amount of carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases in the atmosphere remained more or less constant, means there is no change. But during the last 150 years or so, the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere has increased by 31%. Over the same period, the level of methane is a type of gas like carbon dioxide gas and methane gas, or even more powerful greenhouse gas in the air, has risen by 151%, mostly from agriculture activities such as raising cattle and growing rice, etc. The main reason for the increase in the amount of carbon dioxide in the air is because we are burning more and more fossil fuels. What we are burning more and more? Coal, oil, and natural gas. By driving cars, using electricity from power plants that burn most fossil fuels, or heating our homes with wood, coal, oil, and natural gas, we release carbon dioxide and other heat trapping gases in the atmosphere. Clearing forest is another big source of greenhouse gases, because when we will plant less trees, so we will, as plants breathe, they take in carbon dioxide, they give out oxygen. So because of fewer trees means that less carbon dioxide is being taken up during photosynthesis. As the concentration of greenhouse gases grows in the environment, more heat is trapped in the atmosphere and less escapes back into the space. This increase in trapped heat changes the climate and alters weather patterns. So, it may lead to certain plants and animal species becoming extinct, changing the length of seasons and what crops can be grown, cause coastal flooding, and lead to more frequent and severe storms. And this causes, as the global warming, the change in the entire climate. Okay, children. After learning about acid rain, global warming, and greenhouse effect, how you can play your role in making your environment healthier and happy. We know that you all love watching videos on your mobiles or on your laptop, but these modern activities such as plugging in devices, driving cars, and cooling homes often rely on energy resources such as natural gas, oil, and coal. Those energy sources released a gas called carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. When carbon dioxide and other greenhouse gases trap the heat that would otherwise escape Earth's atmosphere, the planet's temperature rises. So this is the global warming, means the climate change. So how we can reduce this? Scientists believe that climate change is happening, causing and rising the seas, stronger storms, and shifting habitats from wildlife and people. But you don't have to give up on your videos and totally shut down your ACs and to fight with the climate change. You need to do a small little things to keep your environment safe. You can do simple things that we all can do by saving the energy. We can switch off the television sets, radios, and computers when no one is watching them, listening to them, or using them. Don't leave these appliances on standby, or choose and buy electric appliances which can use less energy but do same work as less efficient ones. So don't waste water, use possible energy efficient light bulbs. Like in winters, put on a sweater rather than turning off the heater in cold weather. So opening the fridge door as little as possible. When warm air gets in, extra electricity is needed to cool it down again. So we can use such small things to keep our environment safe and to stop the waste of energy as much as possible. Like when you go for a shopping, take your own shopping bag rather than use a plastic one or made from oil or other things. So these little things can help us making our environment more green and healthy. I hope you enjoyed the topic. So, in the next slide, you will get your homework. I want you all to put all your efforts while doing your work, and I'm always there available in the Google Classroom for you people and in the Zoom as well. So, wherever you get stuck or you are not able to do that thing, just text me and I'll help you in that regard. Okay, Allah Hafiz.